Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today we have to talk about missing Poolies and effectively the cascading effect people have missing a single objective in this daily thing, because there's effectively zero leeway. If you don't get it all, you're going to be missing out on well, some very big rewards, and especially for free to play that is extremely significant because their budget is completely tight. You can get 900k max if you miss a single Poolie anywhere. Can't get the big bundle, and well, that is causing a lot of people to be very pissed off, because if in the game you take a look at the objectives, then again they are called daily objectives, but they put up a timer with like 5 days and they do not stack. That means that if you do not clear all 4 objectives, you're not going to get the new ones, and if you don't get the new ones, you're missing out on points. And this is something we have effectively encountered very recently in past as well, with similar type of issue where Kabam puts a timer on these daily objectives or whatever, and the timer is like a week. And people at the first glance look at them, immediately assume, okay, I have a week to get this done, because that's how intuitively it should be. On the counter side, they are called daily objectives, and if you do follow the game materials, it says clear them daily and so on and so forth. And that obviously has led to quite a big mess, because we have players on the one side who have missed an objective or two and are obviously quite disappointed and dismayed right now at Kabam, feeling that the communication was not clear. And then there is obviously the other side to it, the most fun and engaging side that you always want to chat with at parties, who say, well, technically, Kabam did say they are the daily objectives, so you're an idiot, your own fault, and you should have cleared the objectives, basically. So, and the truth is, the answer is somewhere in the middle there. Is it people's own fault that they did not read anything that Kabam handed out to them, or double checked or anything of the sort? Yeah, kind of. Because there are plenty of people who did. At the same time, it is easy to blame an individual for a mistake, but you do need to recognize that there is an issue with this, and as a gaming company, they should be making these things much more intuitive, much more clear for players, where, you know, these should not have 5-day timers if you effectively have to clear them in a day. There is absolutely nothing stopping them from using 24-hour timers on these objectives and have them, you know, refresh or change daily if you have any left over. These do not need to linger out for a week. You know, you already have taken a hit. The worst thing, obviously, is, in addition to all of the frustration that players are already kind of experiencing and feeling, is effectively what our dear community team is effectively responding to these things. Hey gang, I'm sorry to see some summoners managed miss out on dailies. Well, we can see how this might have been some confusion. If summoners didn't read their in-game messages, we do believe that information is in there, and that the summoners were equipped with the information needed successfully to complete these objectives and get their Poolies. Well, here's the thing, regardless of what you think, plenty of people were not equipped properly, and this is a very big issue of malconstruct champions, especially as of recently. You guys, Kabam, are making everything exceedingly more and more complicated. In order to play this game, it feels like you do need to read like 4 paragraphs of a book every single time you open it, when it comes to champion abilities, when it comes to figuring out how the events work. And I think there is a comment a bit lower in this task that effectively says, so in order to play this game effectively, you need to, you know, join their Discord server, read every in-game mail, read every message, you need to check them out on X, you need to watch YouTube videos, so on and so forth, because it does feel extremely overwhelming, and Kabam is not helping themselves. They are overcomplicating very simple things. There was no need for both solo objectives and, you know, an event. There could have been just, you know, individual objectives, or just could have been a solo event, or there just could have been a quest, or there could have been a simple arena that they have done in the past. There was absolutely no reason to have like 5 different sources of Poolies for free-to-play players, all and many of them intertwined, like, do the solo objective that gets you points in the solo event, and if you do miss out on one, you're screwed in the other. There's just no need for that. And as a company that has been running this game for like 10 years, they're making the stupidest mistakes that, they should be thinking about how to make things easier for the players to understand, easier to follow, and, enjoy more. And they're just not, and that is my biggest issue. So the truth is obviously somewhere in the middle here, but I do think that Kabam is effectively manufacturing these problems that just should not exist at this point in the game's lifetime. They're making things way more complicated, and it's obvious, it's inescapable that as long as Kabam keeps doing this, regardless of how many messages they send anywhere, there will be more and more people that are missing out on things and just, feel disappointed, feel cheated, feel bamboozled. And that's not good for Kabam, because those are not the emotions that you want to, give to your players. You don't want them to feel, it's too stupid to read that message, it's too stupid to pay attention, or, Kabam, it's just not needed at all. They need to cut this shit down. They consistently complain about everything, having these dev times, lead times, and so on and so forth, and they, being overworked or whatnot, but they're bringing it up on themselves. Again, there could, all of this Poolies that you get, you could get some, like 2 years ago when we had spring cleaning, or 3 years ago when we had spring cleaning, you get a bit for logging in, and there was arena, and that was fine. And then, there was a quest or something, and that is fine. Why do you need to do all this shit that nobody really enjoys? People, look at it as burden, because it's not like it's like doing a specific objective is something that you actually enjoy in game. You do it in order to get the rewards. It's not enjoyable. Like having a quest would be more enjoyable. Even grinding stupid arena would be, more straightforward than this. The in-game message mentions how these are daily objectives and how you'll need to be able to log in every day to maximize your rewards. Additionally, the special daily objectives tab is the same line as daily objectives and behave the same way. Daily objectives don't stack. But you don't explain these things. It is the same as daily objectives, but where, how is everybody supposed to know that? Because there have been different versions of these objectives too, where you get new and new and new ones added. Timer, while maybe confusing if you haven't been playing this game for long, it's confusing, period, even if you have been playing this game for long. This is how long you have to complete that objective before it expires, but why? Why put it up like that? Nothing new when new objectives are added or indicated that they would stack. Daily objectives need to be completed daily. Lastly, we know that daily objectives ask you to log in daily and complete content to get the rewards, but that is the point of them. Well, then maybe they should rethink this, forceful attempt, I'd say. An incentive to come back again daily and play. If you like the rewards, something, and want to collect them, you need to be ready to fulfill the criteria. And, this is exactly the type of response not to give. This is like, we set up for a reason because we want you to log in every day, blah, 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 blah. Yes, it is confusing, but fuck you, basically. This is just not a good job. And to kind of emphasize the bigger overarching problem here, we just had the same thing. This isn't a new thing for Kabam. And this, again, is something that I don't understand from them as a company side. They release one event, and it causes massive problems. And then they release the next one a month and a half or 2 months or 3 months later with exactly the same structure, where exactly the same problems repeat themselves. Where we had this Magica track, where again we had daily objectives that had different timers, and people missed out on days, and people missed out on their rank up gems or awakening gems. And then Kabam Crash said the idea behind this event was to see how the player base responded, strict daily regularity requirement, for really good rewards. It had been a long time since we tested that type of content that wasn't just a calendar, and re-release of 7-star 6 stones was a good opportunity to test it out. We will continue to collect data, but right now I would say we agree that a double track structure where players can bank a few days at a time is a stronger design. So 2 months ago they said bank a few days should be fine, it's a stronger design. Yet they still didn't do that. They made another event with zero room for error. Even this thing had 2 days that you could miss. Poolies event has 0 days that you can miss, and they're just going back to it. Why? And they're overcomplicating things, making them super tight with no room for error. And then when something goes wrong, they're, well, we told you. And okay, they can do that. Of course they can. They can do whatever the fuck they want. It's their game. They can run how they please. At the same time, if you do one thing and it consistently pisses off your players and doesn't particularly benefit Kabam either, because this is a free-to-play type of situation, it's not like cash offers or anything of the sort, you're just pissing off your players and being stubborn. This is what it is. Kabam is just being stubborn and pissing off the players. And again, yes, the players obviously, should read more or whatever, but who has the time for all that? Because Kabam is making everything more complicated. If this was the only thing happening in the game, fine. There are always 15 different things happening, not to mention, every new champion added forces you to learn a new Bible, basically. It's just too much, and I absolutely understand how people are feeling overwhelmed with this. This is my job, effectively, and I feel overwhelmed with the amount of complex crap Kabam's pouring in there. And if you have less time to pay attention, it is impossible for an average person to orient themselves in this game to begin with, even if they are experienced, let alone if they are a newer player joining the game. Kabam needs to simplify things, and they need to do it fast. That is the biggest takeaway here. And unfortunately, obviously, it does not look like Kabam is gonna, be extending a helping hand to the players who missed out. Even though, obviously, I think they should. Let me know what you guys think about this entire situation, but, this is genuinely getting tiresome. Kabam's tapping on the same rake again and again and again, and for no good reason. Catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next